Hello, I'm Dr. Rick Durst, Professor of Christian Theology at Golden Gate Baptist Theological Seminary. The doctrine of the Trinity is one of the distinct truths to the Christian way of living. The doctrine of Trinity says there's one God, but in the one God, that one nature, are three persons: Father, Son, Spirit. Many people are familiar with the doctrine of the Trinity because of the baptismal formula, where Jesus says, as you're going, make disciples, teaching them to observe whatever I've taught you, baptizing them in the name, singular, Father, Son, Spirit, triune name. Unfortunately, many of us have only heard the triune God in that order, where in the New Testament there are 70 instances where the triune God, the triadic order, is referenced in all different orders. Let me show you. 26% of the time in the New Testament, the order is Father, Son, Spirit. In most of these occurrences of Father, Son, Spirit, it's in a missional order. When God is at work to carry out His mission of creation, redemption, and recreation, Father, Son, Spirit is the usual order. When God is out to save humanity, to redeem humanity into relationship with Him, usually the order is Son, Spirit, Father. 22% of the time, this order is used. So coming to a knowledge of who Jesus Christ is, the Spirit brings conviction and regeneration, and so we cry out, Abba, Father. 18% of the time, of the 70 occurrences of the Trinity in the New Testament, the order is Son, Father, Spirit. 10% it is Spirit, Son, Father. 13% it is Spirit, Father, Son. And 10% it's Father, Spirit, Son. So the orders are not used equally, but they are all used, and they are all used a minimum of 7 times. Now, it is true that the word Trinity was not coined until Tertullian in the 2nd century. However, the way of thinking Trinitarian is clearly New Testament. Thinking Trinitarian is like the default consciousness of the New Testament writers. They couldn't conceive of God in any other fashion, and so they wrote about Him in all these fashions. One more test I want to give you. When you pray, you can pray in any order. The New Testament prays and preaches and teaches in any order. So the next time you pray to God, which order makes the most sense to you at that moment? Son, Spirit, Father? Maybe it's Father, Son, Spirit. Pray and worship God in any of those 3 orders. You're worshiping the one God in His triune name. God is pleased with that, but I think you might be surprised at the results. Thanks for listening.